Hi everyone, my name is Gabrielle and I'm the summer administrator here at the Dufferin Historical Museum in Carmen. We missed seeing you at the museum, so we thought we would show you a little bit of what we have inside the museum. So we are in our kitchen display today, and I'm just going to show you a couple things that we have in store. Alright, so we're over near our stove. So this is a wood burning stove, so it would have been vented outside of a house. Most likely, originally it would have been a very small house like the Sexsmith Morgan log cabin that we have on site. So this stove, it would generate a lot of heat and it would have a lot of different types of appliances that could be used on it. So up front here, you can see we have a fritter iron that can be used to making fritters. Over here we have some waffle irons and some just normal pots and kettles, and then we have stuff like Angel food cake tins that would be used in this oven. Even though it was wood burning, you would be able to put stuff inside of it and bake things. Alright, so now we're over by some of our small appliances and tools that we have in the kitchen. So first up, we have a wooden potato masher, a lot different than a potato masher you would see nowadays. You can see it's been used lots, it's a little bit worn. And then we have something like a cream and egg whip. Again, not too different than what you would use today. Serves the same function, but just a little bit different, right? A lot of whisks now, you have like electric beaters or just a hand whisk, but very similar idea. Something lots of people find really interesting is our toasters. So we have two here. We have the one that looks almost like a W or an M, depending how you look at it, and just more slats. Again, it would be used over a stove or over the fire. It would be actually really difficult to make toast because you didn't want to burn it. It took a lot of skill to make toast. You couldn't just pop it in the toaster like you do nowadays. And then we have things like graters and choppers and all sorts of different things. In the kitchen, some of the things that really interest people are the butter making machines. So now it's so easy to just go to the store and buy a pound of butter, right? But it used to not be that easy. So after you got your milk and separated the cream from it, and we do have some cream separators in the museum, if that's something that interests you, you would make your butter. So one of the types of butter machines that people are most familiar with is the dash churn, which is this one right here. So it's just the big churn with the paddle in it, and you just move it up and down and it churns the butter like this, or a lot more aggressively, but I'm not going to do that with our artifact, obviously. And then we have another fairly common one, which is just the butter churn with the paddle. This one you just turn the paddles and it moves it around a lot. And these do make a fair amount of butter, but you do have to remember you do lose a lot of your volume to the buttermilk output from it. And then our largest churn is the cradle churn. So now we are going to show you how to make butter in case you're looking for an activity to do with your kids or grandkids, or really any ages can do this. This isn't just an activity for kids. So you only really need one ingredient, and that's heavy whipping cream. The higher the fat content, the better. This is 33% whipping cream, but anything that or higher works great. And then you just need a jar or container that seals really well. Any size container is fine. You need to leave some room in the jar for the cream. And so in this jar, I have it filled to about here, and then the rest is just room because you're going to shake it up. So that's really all you're going to do. And you want your cream really cold. The colder it is, the faster the fat will emulsify and it'll be a lot easier. So we're just going to shake it up. And depending on how much cream you have and the temperature and all that is going to depend on how long this takes. And if you do it with your kid or multiple kids, you can trade off. And it's lots of fun. Okay, so after a couple of minutes of shaking, you'll start to hear the sound change, and then eventually it might get quieter and it will feel a lot thicker. So you can open up your container and check, and you'll likely, after a few minutes, you'll get whipped cream like this. Yeah. And so this, you could just make whipped cream like this. You could add a little bit of sugar and some vanilla if you want and knead it with some berries or something. But our goal today is to make butter, so we're gonna keep going. So after you have shaken your whipped cream even more, it will be silent for a little bit, and then you'll start to hear some liquid again, and that's a good thing. So that's your buttermilk separating from the butter. And so at the end, it will look like this. And so what you'll want to do is you'll drain that off, and then this next step isn't critical. Then you'll want to, if you're going to keep your butter for any extended time, you'll want to rinse it out and get rid of all of the buttermilk left in it. And you just use some water to do that. And then you'll just be left with this, and you can form it, and then you can try it. It's good on crackers or bread, really anything. Lots of butter has salt in it. This doesn't. If you have it on a cracker with a little bit of salt already on it, it's great. If you want salt in it, you can easily just mix it in. We wouldn't recommend keeping your butter for too long, especially if you don't rinse it. I would eat it within a day or so, but totally up to you. And yeah, so thank you so much for joining us. If you do make butter, please send us pictures if you're comfortable with that, or we're on Facebook, and we'll put our email info down below if you would like to share them that way. Thanks so much for joining us today. If you have any ideas of what you would like to see next in our museum, let us know down below, and we'll see you next time.